Hey everybody, my name's Chris Warren.
My name is Matt Lopes.
Welcome to the You Should Be Worried podcast.
Breaking news, the former president was not assassinated this weekend. Seems like that's every weekend, doesn't it? Chris, tell him why the president didn't get assassinated. Tell him.
All right, so I made a video on this.
Tell him, Chris.
But for all those that don't know, here's the real reason. Everyone's going to tell you all these conspiracy theories. This is the real conspiracy theory.
Yeah, tell him.
Is that, for those that don't know, former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was boys with Trump. They were like best friends. He was like the only foreign politician that got along with Trump. And he died 2 years ago, almost to the day of the assassination. And I am thoroughly convinced that Shinzo came down as like a ghost and whispered in Trump's ear like, "Trumpu, look over here." And he looked over, and that's why the bullet missed him. That's how he sounded. That wasn't racist. Look up Shinzo Abe. That's how he would talk.
Oh my God! I thought you were gonna be like, because our former president's a fucking boss ass bitch. I thought you were gonna say something like that.
No.
Instead, you gave me Japanese ghost.
Yeah, it's a small Japanese ghost saved Donald Trump.
Oh, he's small too.
He's a small guy.
Do they get smaller once they become ghosts, or was he small?
No, he was
that?
He was like 5'6". He was
He
already
like Danny DeVito?
No. But he was like Trump's like 6'2". He was 5'6", so they looked funny together. They were a weird combo.
Okay.
They were boys though. So
Small
I think
Japanese ghost saved former president's life.
He looked out for his boy even beyond. That's kind of friends I want.
I'm surprised that's not. I'm surprised that's not on the headline. That wasn't the headline.
The government doesn't want you to know about the power of Japanese ghosts, former Japanese politician ghosts.
Dude, that's so fucking funny.
Dude, he got Japan their navy back. He convinced Trump to let them have a navy again. Dude, that guy did work. He put in work for Japan.
That's so sick.
Not fondly remembered enough, to be honest. R.I.P.
Yeah,
to Shinzo.
I've never even heard of him. Never even heard of him.
No. But anyway, so that's why I think Trump survived. Because if you look, he looks at the last second and the bullet misses. I think it was his boy.
Yeah, I saw something. Honestly, it's so fucked up because you get fed so much information online, but you don't know what's true and what's not true. And we're not gonna know until like way later on. But I saw this one. I don't even feel comfortable passing it along because what if it's wrong? You know,
who cares? Because we're a big political correspondence podcast.
I like to keep my reputation at a good amount. You know, I like to have a good reputation and seem like reliable. There was this one image I saw of like how it would have got him, how the bullet would have gone through his head if he hadn't turned his head. And it really only clipped the back of his brain, like the smallest amount, if he didn't move. And I'm like,
you don't need to lose.
That sucks. If you die from that, from a bullet hitting just a small part of like the back of your brain and like going through like the back, because when people kill themselves, they try to go right through the brain, right down the middle,
down the middle,
like
take it all out,
like even up, like through the middle of the brain. But if you die because the bullet like just chipped the ever so like the smallest amount of your brain, that seems like a pussy way to go. You know?
I mean, it does. You'd be surprised at how little brain you have to lose for it to be a real big problem.
Yeah.
You lose like 10% of that bad boy, you could be done. Although then there's the people that will get shot in the head and they'll go through their brain and they'll lose like 30% of their brain and they'll still be fine.
Yes, dude.
Because the rest of the brain like adapts and builds new neural pathways.
Oh my gosh.
So what if Trump lost like 20%
Phineas
of his
Gage.
brain?
You know,
yeah.
Me and you are
Shout
best.
out Psych
We're best
101,
friends,
dude. We got it.
We're best fucking friends.
Best friends.
Phineas Gage. Ben, you know who Phineas Gage is?
Bro didn't even take Psych AP in high school.
History content. Chris and Matt doing history. Throw the graphic on there. Awesome. Phineas Gage. To all those who do not know, Phineas Gage was a man, right? Probably this was in the 1800s or 1900s.
Yep, you're nailing it.
1800s. He worked on a railroad, and one day, because there was no safety measures back then.
No OSHA back then.
No OSHA back then. There's a lot of OSHAs now. I believe there's 7. And back then,
that was good.
Thank you. OSHA wasn't around, so Phineas Gage was working on a railroad, and he was putting he was like hammering shit down onto the railroad, and there was an explosion. And the explosion that happened on the railroad, it forced one of the fucking big metal rods that go on the train track to go through his fucking head. It went right through his fucking eye and then up his brain. You'd think that he would die from that.
Yeah.
Phineas Gage did not die from that. What happened instead, Chris? Tell him.
So it took out like a huge chunk of his brain, his frontal lobe.
Frontal lobe, gone.
And so It turns out that's how we figure out the frontal lobe regulates emotions and emotional response.
But not necessary to living.
Yeah, you don't need to regulate your emotions to be alive. Just look at women. Anyway, so come on, guys. Don't leave me hanging on that one.
No women I've ever met had their frontal lobe.
Hell yeah, dude. Crushing it. Sexism and history in one episode. This is my dream episode.
How do we do it, dude?
But so he didn't have his frontal lobe, but he was still able to live because that didn't affect like how his brain functions with his muscles and organs.
Yes.
So he was just like an emotional bipolar wreck the rest of his life. But he lived like another 20, 30 years.
And you see him in all his photos, and he has like one eye that's working fine, and the other one is just closed because that's the one that the rod went through. And a lot of people think, because like I have a theory on Phineas Gage that the cortex or whatever the fuck the thing went through wasn't actually. I don't think it has any use at all. And I think that Phineas Gage, because you said that his emotions just like kind of died down.
No, they went crazy. He couldn't regulate them anymore.
Well, what really happened was he was getting angry and shit.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's because he had a fucking spike through his head.
Yeah, that made me pissed too.
I think when you're living as a human being with a fucking spike going through your head, and people are treating you like you had a fucking spike going through your head all the time, I think that would change up your
Everyone's
fucking emotions.
talking to you real slow, like you're special needs.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Hey,
Can you imagine
Phineas.
Phineas like, I'm okay. I'm still a fucking person.
Hey, let's calm down. Phineas.
No. Because you're treating me like I'm a fucking disabled person.
Do you want a
and I'm
lollipop?
totally fucking fine. Don't fucking patronize me with your fucking lollipop. I'm Phineas Gage. I'm Phineas fucking Gage. I make railroads, bitch.
Also, to be fair, they were all like, "Oh, he was too angry." It's like, also, his name's Phineas. He was Irish. They're kind of that's their thing. Fred was like, "Oh, he wasn't able to regulate emotions or stop being mad." It's like, have you been to Dublin?
Right.
He would have fit right in.
Also, he had so many tests done on him too.
Yeah, they just poking his brain with like a fucking metal rod.
He was always in a fucking lab. They were if I was Phineas Gage, I would be mad. I think you'd have a right to be mad if you were Phineas Gage.
And that was before like germ theory. So guys with no gloves, unwashed hands, just poking his brain, be like, "Oh, what's this do?" Like, hey, could you stop?
You're getting dirt in my brain.
Literally getting fucking eating a sandwich, dropping pickles in there. Like, oops, gotta scoop that out real quick.
I couldn't get that pickle out, man. I just sewed you back up. I start getting pickle thoughts.
Pickle thoughts.
Thoughts about pickles.
Oh my god. So yeah, great day in the news, honestly. That would be great. Yeah, Phineas Gage, Donald Trump. If he was just
Donald Trump got Phineas Gage. Well, he already acts like Phineas Gage, you know?
Bro, also, can we just acknowledge, regardless of what your political views are, Trump just won the election. There's no way he's losing after
saying
that.
Yeah,
everyone's going crazy. I have friends who are diehard liberals, like borderline communists, and they called me up and were like, kind of badass how he got up afterwards with blood on him and raised his fist.
I think there should be an assassination attempt on every president that runs.
Yeah, you should be able. If you can't survive an assassination attempt, I don't want you being my president.
Yeah,
I need a tough dude.
I think it should be a requirement. You know, because I think that what should happen next is Biden should get shot. Right.
He's not going to survive that. There's no way.
He does not survive. But then we get somebody else in who.
Who would you run instead of Biden on the Democrat
ticket? I
ticket?
don't know anybody, dude. I have no idea. Mama Gretch.
How you feel about Gavin Newsom or Buttigieg? Pete Buttigieg?
Is Buttigieg the gay one?
He's the gay guy that the CIA made.
Him. I think this country could use a little gay. I like it.
Yeah, gay president, honestly, kind of could be a vibe.
Kind of be dope.
I'm not against. I don't hate it. The problem is he was made by the CIA in a lab, so I don't want him to be the gay president.
What do you mean made? Like he's not an actual person? Like he's not biologically made?
No, like it's very clear that he's a CIA asset. Like he's.
What do you mean it's very clear? What do you mean?
I mean, do you want me to derail the podcast? I could go into a rant about.
No, I don't want that.
So just trust me that if everyone who's.
What do you mean just trust you?
I can explain that. I can explain that if you want.
Listen, I can make this podcast a really not fun time, or you could just trust me.
Yeah, or you just. This is how I win arguments.
He's a CIA operative.
I just threaten you with what I describe as knowledge that you will listen to and be like, I'm not sure if those are facts. But I'll just keep yelling louder than you to the point where you're like, fine, he's in the CIA. Whatever you need, Chris.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah. But no, right out of college, he like worked for a political campaign and he worked for the CIA for like 10 years randomly and then just magically got elected to like a position he wasn't. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Those in the know what I'm talking about.
So Buttigieg is not a real person. He's a
CIA plant.
He's a bionicle.
Yeah, he's a bionicle made in a CIA lab.
He is a bionicle.
See, I'm just going to be honest. I'm too insecure in my sexuality to kiss a man.
I don't understand what that means.
Yeah.
You're too insecure in your sexuality?
Yeah, because
you think it's gonna
I think I'm gonna
gateway.
kiss it and I might like it a little too much. And I can't
shit.
I'm 30. I can't be gay now.
You
The
can't.
time to be gay when it would have been fun was my 20s. That would have been awesome to be gay. Being gay in my mid 30s is not gonna be fun.
30s is not that different. It's just optics, dude. It's just optics from other people.
But I feel like being a young gay dude's fun. Like being an old gay dude, like I have to quietly become Republican and still be gay, and that's just like a lot. I don't want to do that.
Do you think that you that lying about your age in order to get sex is sexual assault?
I mean, that sounds like a real dangerous game you're playing. Like
if
what are
you
we
said-
talking?
if
You
you
can't be
said-
like pretending you're a
If you're
16-year-old.
30
That's not.
And a girl's like, I only date men in their 20s, and you're like, okay, I'm 28. If you go home and you get with her, is that wrong? Because you lied.
I've never thought of it. That seems. I feel like people. See, I feel like people lie to get sex all the time. I don't lie to get sex, which is why I don't get a lot of it. So I don't know.
Oh, so
I don't
people
know
lie
what
all
to
the
say.
time, meaning like men say like they work for places they don't work
Yeah,
for.
they're like, oh, I'm actually a millionaire, and
Do you
they're in
think
a
that
rented
that's
Lambo.
a dishonest way to get sex?
Oh, it's 100% a dishonest way.
But is it like fucked up in a way where like you should be jailed for it?
No, I think if you're dumb enough to believe that guy, it's like you got deal with
So
it.
it's our responsibility to ask for proof and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I just think you should, if you couldn't figure that out,
Yeah.
right? That means you're sleeping with him like within the first 24 hours. Kind of a slut move, you get what you get, sluts.
Yeah.
All right, this is not making me more popular. This is making me less popular. I'm somehow talking myself into even less sex as time. I've angered the bi women. I've
Let's
angered
move
the
on.
sluts. It's not good for me out here.
I watched a 2-hour documentary on the World of T-shirts guy on TikTok.
Who's the world of t-shirts guy?
He's the guy who I think he's a little he might be on the spectrum. He's the guy who's like, you ever see those videos of that kid who's standing in the middle of Times Square and he's singing in New York?
I don't know what this is.
No? Okay, what else? What other viral videos has this man done? It's really just like this kid who's on TikTok. He posts like 17 times a day. He's always
This isn't the Scribbity guy?
No,
different guy. Okay.
No, different guy. He literally lives off TikTok, and therefore, like, he has to make a lot of content so he can like get enough.
He's
money.
like in a sweatshop making content, like
But
dancing
he's
in front
also
of the
like
camera.
a really like bad alcoholic and shit like that. And he's like,
Oh, wait, is this guy that wears the sailor's hat? yeah, I know this guy. Yeah, okay.
I watched a 2-hour documentary on his life.
Someone sent me
On his come up.
a video of him and said, "This is you if you didn't stop drinking," and they're 100% right. They're 100% right.
And it was a really good time. It was a good watch.
That's good.
His name is Joshua Block.
I think the internet kind of like hyped him up to ruin his life. Like I do feel bad for him. From what I know, it sounds like he was kind of like an impressionable dumb guy, and the internet just kept, hey, keep doing things that'll ruin your life. It's really funny, dude.
But then he would also go on like lives, and people would see that he was live in New York, and they'd find out where he was based on where he was in his live, and they would go up to him and like fucking chase him around and like make him in fear of his life.
Dude, that's not cool. You can't
Which
be
is
bullying mentally
great.
challenged people.
Yeah,
That's not
dude.
nice.
Yeah, dude, that shit's great. Like they would steal his hat all the time, and he loved that hat.
His little sailor cap.
Then he would find it like behind a dumpster and
Aw.
shit. It's
This
fucking
made me sad, dude. It's a
Yeah,
bummer.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
Didn't he get famous off?
But
someone...
he's also a bad person, dude. Like
Is he?
You'll see other people filming him in public where he doesn't want to be recorded, and he's like saying the N word.
Oh no! I just offended him, and now you're saying this.
No, but like he's a trouble person. I do think the internet did that to him. I do because like everybody was like, no one had to like engage with his videos, send his videos to their friends and shit. Like, look at this guy, and then also be like, and then like give him all the views that he wanted. Now he thinks this is a good avenue for him, and he keeps making.
It is a good
videos.
avenue to get views,
right?
So he's not wrong. It's just what are the
Yeah.
consequences of that?
Right.
But also, I thought he was like hanging out with bigger streamers originally that got him kind of famous, and they were the ones kind of pushed him into alcoholism.
No, he was already pretty famous.
Oh, was he? Okay, I misunderstood
on
that.
TikTok, and then he would like collab with other either autistic streamers or he would.
Did he ever do stuff with what's his name, Ice Poseidon?
No, not that I know of.
I like Ice Poseidon because everyone.
is.
He was this guy that I think's also, maybe I'm saying his name wrong. But he was like also kind of on the spectrum, and he was a game streamer, and he just kept accidentally leaking his location or his home and stuff, and he got swatted like 7 times. Like he
Holy
would.
shit.
That was a thing. He'd be like on a live stream, and the SWAT team would like kick in his door with guns.
But like,
someone would
when
call.
you get swatted and they don't find anything, can't they find out who sent the SWAT?
So
and fucking,
that happens. People get arrested. It's very arrestable to SWAT someone because you could have gotten someone killed.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I think they're smart and they do like something with VPNs. I don't understand technology enough. They do something where they call from like an anonymous Google number.
Holy shit.
But yeah, they would just call and be like, yeah, this guy, and they would use his real name and be like, at this address, he has like a gun, he's holding someone hostage, or like he's got a bomb or something, and then the police have to go because what if it's true and they didn't do anything, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, the Euro Cup finals. Did you watch those?
I heard Spain won.
Yeah. Viva la Spain. We play that, for those that don't know, who aren't worldly, our intro music is the national anthem of Spain.
Oh, hell yeah. I forgot about that, dude.
So we were excited.
Viva España.
I mean, granted, it is technically the 1960s one that has a couple references that got taken out in the later versions because they were a little fascistic, but I think it's the better sounding one. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's like the children will die for the glorious leader Franco. Anyway, yeah, so they took that part out, but other than that, it's basically the same anthem.
We really have to start doing more research when it comes to our music.
Yeah. But anyway, shout out Spain, dude. That was like the repeat of the Spanish Armada. When back in the day, Spain sent a bunch of ships in like the 1600s to take over England, and a storm happened and ruined all their boats, and they lost the war.
Oh, fuck.
So this was their redemption arc, dude. Some 500 years later.
They fucking did it, too.
They did it, dude.
They fucking did it. Go Spain, dude. Fucking killing England,
all
right?
the Brits
was it against England?
They were so sad, dude. That's all
What's
they
the
had.
difference between British and English?
I'm glad you asked. So England is one country.
Yeah.
It is in, where it's, I guess, technically a nation. It's in the south part of that whole island. It's where London is.
Europe?
No, of Great Britain, which is the bigger island.
Great Britain is.
So what you're thinking of as England is actually several things.
Okay.
So England's just the bottom half. Then to the left of that, you have Wales. To the north of that, you have Scotland. And then across the sea in Ireland, you have Northern Ireland, like the top fourth of Ireland.
What are they all together?
And all together, they make Great Britain.
Really?
Yeah. But they're all.
So Wales is a part of Great Britain.
It's its own.
And England is a part of Great Britain.
It's its own country that is part of a larger nation.
It's like the United States, but with countries instead of
exactly.
states.
And the country's a loose term, or is it nations that make a larger country?
Wales isn't a country.
I think it's. So I don't know which one's the correct term. It's either it's a nation that's part of a country, or it's a country that's part of a nation. I don't remember which one's the bigger unit of measurement.
So interesting.
But so they're technically their own thing, but not really at all. In practice, not at all.
So mostly people. So all English people are British, but not all British people are English.
Yes, that's a great way of doing it.
Okay.
And here's the fun thing: if you look at the flag of Great Britain,
yeah.
England's flag is just a red cross on a white background. And Scotland's flag is a white X on top of a blue background. Okay. And all the British flag is, Great Britain's flag, is the English flag on top of the Scottish flag because England's on top of Scotland now. They rule Scotland.
Oh,
so that's
shit.
Their whole flag, Great Britain's flag, is just a diss on Scotland.
Wait, so is Great Britain just like an idea?
No, it's a country. It's like a nation. They function.
Do they have their own spot too?
No, that is their own. That's all their own spot. It's basically Great Britain is just England ruling a bunch of other people. And so it used to be much bigger.
Okay. So like, England is the head of Great Britain.
England is, they're running things.
Do they ever go to war with each other?
Back in the day, all the time.
Really?
Nowadays, not so much.
That's so interesting.
Well, Scotland tried to leave Great Britain like 2 or 3 years ago. They had a vote, and they came really close to voting their way out, but they lost by like 10%, and so they're still a part of Great Britain.
That's so interesting to think about, like, if applying that to our country, like, the United States is really just like an idea when we're really just like a bunch of different states. And
yeah, I mean, back in the day, especially, like, the states had way more rights and powers, so it really did used to just be like a grand alliance, but over time, the federal government has eroded those privileges and rights of states and kind of made it less, like, states don't matter as much as they used to back in, like, the 1800s.
Now we're really kind of all just functioning under
the federal government kind of just runs everything now.
Yeah.
Which,
that's cool. That's honestly also cool to think about, because you have, like, one big state, and you divide that into like counties or cities, and then like the mayors of those cities, which are obviously senators, like they have power over their city, which is like their state.
Well, it'd be
and
governors,
then you go into
that
governor. Yes, I meant that. And then you go into those cities, right, where the governor.
I think you're making it more confusing with the analogy.
Yeah, totally.
I think you could have just...
But my thing is, I think we should have mayors for streets.
For sure, you like your own street as a mayor.
I think if you keep going down, we go from president to governors or senators to governors to mayors. You know, you keep going all the way down. I think that's when change will actually work out. If you have a mayor or whatever they would be called, but it's like a mayor for your own like little county of your town or like your own little street, I feel like it'd be much easier to get shit done. I think a lot more would get done.
Matt, you become more Republican
no,
every day.
Stop!
It's so
That's
beautiful.
not true. That's not fucking true.
So yeah, no,
that's not true.
I'm big on what I think is not even necessarily.
Republicans don't like being governed.
That's why they like state and local government so much.
That's being governed.
Yeah, but they hate the federal government. So what you're describing,
I don't know what the difference is.
So the federal government is like what the president is.
Okay.
And I'm a big believer that the federal government should only exist to deal with the outside world. They shouldn't really have that much control inside the country. I think inside the country should all be state and local government making their own decisions. And if you don't like what your state or local government's doing with laws and stuff, move somewhere else. That's your right as an American. Vote with your feet. Move to somewhere else that has the values you like. If we all do that, then we got a broad spectrum of what it means to be American and how you can live your life in this beautiful country instead of all being shoehorned into the same idea of what being an American is by the federal government, when their job should be blowing up other countries. That's all I want to hear from you, federal government, is what country did you go in and rob today? Yeah. Where's my fucking money? The envelope's light, federal government.
What was I gonna? So when you go to the other side, the liberals, they don't believe in government or they love government.
It's this liberal Republican Democrat argument is kind of the same thing at this point.
Oh,
I know.
Well, then don't call me Republican when I'm the same thing as a.
It's technically a more of a conservative ideal. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Where a more liberal idea would be the idea that federal government, and I'm super boiling this down, so don't get mad at me. Is the liberal idea would be that more government is actually better, and it should be at the federal level to regulate things so there can be more equality, for lack of a better word.
Oh.
Yeah. But in order to enforce that equality and redistribution of resources,
I think both are important. I think both are important.
They are. But the federal government shouldn't be. I really just don't think they should be meddling in my life as a citizen. They should be out there killing foreign people.
I just feel like if I had a bunch of potholes on my street,
yeah.
I think a mayor of the street would definitely want to make sure that problem is solved.
Matt just became a libertarian, dude. He went even further.
More than a governor would.
Yeah. Welcome to the Libertarian Party, Matt.
I'm not libertarian. I just want people.
Do you have potholes on your street? This is a very specific example.
No.
Okay.
I'm just thinking.
You could be like that guy. I forget his name, but shouts out to this guy in India who his son died from a pothole because he was on like a moped and he hit a pothole and died. And so he goes around India, and all his full-time thing is he just goes and, because the government doesn't really function over there, they don't like have money or anything.
Yeah.
So he just goes around filling all the potholes.
Wow.
Every day he fills like 5 or 6 potholes by himself at his own expense. He retired. He like sold all his stuff just to do that. Because he's like, no other family should have to bury a son because our government is like inept.
That's crazy.
Guy's the GOAT. Honestly,
that's cool.
I forget your name, sir, but like you were a hero. Shouts out to you.
I feel like kindness really shows through when you know that the people up at top won't do anything about the problem. You know? But we have such a good government. We have the best government, so nobody feels like they have to do any kind acts.
That's what it is. Our government's got too good at their job, so everyone's got lazy, stopped being kind.
Well, in your situation, guy had bad government, so everybody's nicer to each other, filling up potholes
themselves.
That's true.
You know, and that's
we're so spoiled by our government.
Yeah, because we don't. Care of us.
We're like, oh, they're the ones in charge. We just have to live.
Yeah, we just gotta live. We don't.
It's fucking
they'll be
wrong,
nice to,
dude. And our potholes don't get fucking.
You know,
fixed.
that's because they take care of all the homeless so well that we don't need to. That's what it is. We're like, why would I give money to this guy? Yes. He's already getting taken care of by the government.
Right.
They love him, obviously.
What happened? I don't understand why homeless people are so mad about the whole, because now I think in Texas or in some states, like if you're sleeping in public, you can get ticketed or fined for it.
Because that's where they sleep is in public. So
yeah, but if you get like arrested or whatever and you're in jail, that's a home. That's shelter. You get food.
Homeless people love freedom. That's why they're homeless a lot of the time. So they don't want to.
I don't think that's why they're homeless. I think they're homeless because they can't afford a home.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of mental illness and drug abuse mostly, but.
Therefore, wouldn't it be better if they were in a rehab facility or in a prison? I'm not saying like throw them all in jail.
I love you so much, man. Yes, I think let's make being homeless illegal, and we've already done this bit on the podcast, but let's take them all out.
Doesn't that help them, though? Does it not help them, Chris?
Yeah, it does.
Is that a Republican standpoint? That's fucked up. That's fucked up, dude.
Close.
I hate it. So what's the alternative? You just let them sleep on the street?
Yeah.
And like they just live their life?
Yep.
And they panhandle for
and
free.
You give them free methadone and free needle exchanges. That would be the liberal answer to the issue.
I don't want no.
No, that is
Clean
genuinely
syringes for them.
No, that's really in like California.
Well,
that's
we don't want you to do it, but if you're gonna do it, rather you be safe.
Yeah, that's what they do. And they have like safe shoot up places where like a government employee just stands there with Narcan in case anyone overdoses.
Oh my God.
And it's just yeah.
I don't know. I don't like doing this podcast anymore.
Listen, let's just take drones, let's attach flamethrowers to them and just have them go through Skid Row and just and technically it's the drone that did it. It's the AI, so like a human didn't kill anybody.
That's true. It's facts.
Yeah.
I keep sleeping. I don't know if you guys can notice. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but one of my eyes is fucking red.
I don't really see it.
All right, it's good.
Maybe those...
I've been sleeping on my eye.
Bro, of all... What do you mean you're sleeping on your eye?
I'm sleeping on my eye.
Like, is there a fucking point? Like, is there a triangle in your bed you slam your fucking eye on? Like, what's going on?
The corner of my pillow just in my eye all night.
When was the last time you washed it?
Washed what? My eye?
The pillow.
The pillow?
Yeah.
Probably like last week.
Okay. I was thinking this was like a 2-year-old crust.
I've never washed anything in my life.
Tina's taking care of you. Gotcha.
No, we have a maid.
You have a maid?
No. We have an aunt that has a sister-in-law that does it for free, or else we kick her out of the country.
So you have an indentured servant. You have a slave. Matt has a slave that cleans his pillow.
Family friend. We like to use family.
They're part of the family. They're basically part of the family.
No, she's great. Shout out Daniela. You have I've been sleeping on my eye because I don't want to sleep on my hand no more. Because when I sleep on my hand,
You get the little mark.
I get mark. Okay,
So
I gotta
you
stop.
inside your eye.
So now I have to sleep on my side, and when I sleep on my side, so that I don't have to sleep on my hands, the pillow is in my eye all night because I'm sleeping like with my head on the pillow like this. So it's in my eye, and I wake up and I have all this fucking gunk in my eye. I have all this gunk buildup. I'm always like scratching at it. And yesterday, literally, I was looking at myself through my phone. And my eye was so red, and it looked all wrinkly like a fucking old person's skin.
You always
it looked
got
like I had
a fucking problem.
Yeah,
I'm shocked.
I really don't know how to fix my sleep. I gotta sleep in a certain way where I don't have any problems.
Just
Have
in
you tried your
general,
back?
You always have some sort of fucking issue going on.
No.
Why would Matt, of all three of us, have health issues all the time? That's crazy.
No,
Yeah,
but it's
that's
always
nuts.
shit where it's like, I can't stop sleeping like this, or like, my ear doesn't hear anymore.
I still can't hear out of that ear.
My ankle is bleeding.
You do get fucking weird medical issues that I wouldn't expect.
Yeah, well,
You gotta take better care of yourself, Matt. You gotta get one of those cube pillows. You seen those?
the whole reason I brought up the whole eye thing is because I wanted to say that I thought it'd be funny to say that my eye gets so like red and wrinkly. I was looking at it the other day, and it looked like what I imagined a rhino's pussy to look like.
Yo, what the fuck?
It was like all fucking like wrinkly and like rough skinned, and it was like also like the corner of my eye. I've been rubbing so much that it kind of looks like it's like a worn out vagina at the edge of like where the skin it gets all.
Do you have a picture?
My eyeballs got pussy flaps.
But I've also never seen a rhino's pussy.
Ow,
so
my
I have
labia.
No idea. That's just what I imagined.
No.
Can you imagine if you opened up a rhino's pussy and you saw a pupil just staring back at you?
What?
An iris just like looking at you like, what are you looking at?
Man, you gotta stop talking about animal vagina, dude. The allegations
first
are gonna
time.
get
My
too strong.
first time.
No, first time we haven't cut from the podcast. There's been a lot of times we had to
Stop,
cut out.
guys. You said you wouldn't talk about all the other times I talked about
All those
animal
times
pussy
you were
on the
like, furries are
podcast.
pretty weird, huh? Wouldn't it be crazy if we did content at the furry convention? It'd be nuts.
Fuck. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of You Should Be Worried, because they're black. Thank you so much for watching this episode of You Should Be Worried. My name is Matt Lopes. You can find me on all social media at MattyFucko. And check out the sketches that we do in the Making ITM. And you can, it's always a good time there. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube channel. You can edit that out, right? And it's a YouTube channel. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe. And then you also have to follow Chris Warren Comedy on TikTok, Instagram, to check out his dates. He's going to be at Edinburgh Fringe Festival next month. I'm going to be in Austin, Texas, and Raleigh, North Carolina next month. So make sure that you check out the dates in my bio if you're interested in that.
Oh, and actually this weekend, because this podcast will come out in time, I'm going to be in Philly and West Virginia this weekend.
Hell yeah.
So I'll post the...
West Virginia.
Yeah, I'm going with shouts out Robbie the Fire Bernstein.
Oh, the Porch Tour.
Porch Tour, going with him.
Fire.
So we'll be down there. It'll be a good time. So I'll have those dates up by the time this episode is up. So if you're in the area, come see me. I don't know anything about West Virginia. So if you want to show me around, that'd be great. Never been there before. So
thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next week.